Everything you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only. Listen, have some fun, but don't ever do, believe, or promote anything they say. They're idiots.
Guys, hold up. You should know, this ain't for everybody. Welcome to Savagely Loud. What's happening, people? Guys, welcome back to the show for the people that understand the facts divided by feelings equals failure. I'm Cliff, I'm your host, and I'm joined today by, and always, by Big Dave Anderson, the Big Bad Viking. But before we get to him, you know the drill. If you want to help us out, get these words out, get these truths out, you can follow me at SavagelyLOUD on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. And on that page, you're going to find two links. One of those links is to the Savagely Loud podcast page. If you could please follow us over there, it would greatly help increase the footprint and reach of the show. And we would absolutely appreciate it from our bottom of our tiny, cold, black little hearts. And the other page you're going to find, the link you're going to find is a simple link tree. Anywhere you want to see my face or hear my rants, you can find it there, easy peasy. Outside of that, Facebook, X, and Rumble at Savagely Loud, YouTube at Savagely Loud Podcast. Please don't forget to subscribe, share it with your friends, and have them subscribe because that would greatly help too. And you can also email us in at SavagelyLOUDpodcast@gmail.com. Questions for Dave or I. If you have just questions for me, you can hit me at SavagelyLOUD@gmail.com. And don't forget to rate and review the show. That is one of the biggest things you can do to help us out is rate and review the show. Give us a 5-star rating on Spotify, iTunes. Give us a nice review on iTunes. It really does help. And also don't forget that every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central, we do a live show now. That is every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central, and that would be 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Look it up. You know, I think I have the transitions down. But look it up. They it's Pacific, and then it's Mountain, and then it's this, and then it's that. Just look it up. 7 p.m. Central. Join us. We stream it to YouTube. We stream it to Facebook. We're going to start streaming it to other places too. So just look it up there, and come and enjoy the fucking show with us. And it typically starts with a plan, and then it spirals pretty quickly from there once the comments start flowing, because we don't like to do the live show like some people like to do live shows where they just ignore all of the comment section. We have Laura with me. That's Mrs. Savage. That's my wife. She runs the comments. She puts them up, and we engage with people. We actually talk to the people that are commenting. We interact. So it makes it fun. It makes it interactive, and it's a really good show. It's a really fun time. We get into some. We still get into some shit, but we have some fun with it.
Oh yeah, we do, and we do get off the tracks quite a bit. That's normal with a live, especially if like you said, like we interact with the people that are watching. There's not a lot of live shows that actually do that. So we take pride in doing that. So that's why we go off the tracks every now and again.
Now, there is sometimes where I'm on a fucking roll, right? I get on my rants and I don't see the comments coming up because I'm looking at the camera. The camera's up here, the screen's down there. See, now I'm looking at the screen, now I'm looking at the camera, now I'm looking at the screen, now I'm looking at the camera, and I just don't see them. So sometimes we'll cycle back and I hit some of the comments that I noticed because I keep them up on the left. So when I'm done, I look over there.
Now, are you referring to the rant that you went off on that one guy last week? Because that one was
fuck
epic.
That guy.
That was an epic one. I mean, you just boom. I mean, you got to watch the live to experience what I'm talking about, because it was just like everything was going good. All of a sudden, one stupid idiot, and it's like took us a completely different direction, and it still turned out to be an excellent and an epic show.
Yeah, I don't fuck around. That's one thing people got to understand, and they have learned a lot. Have learned, and a lot are left to learn. I don't fuck around with you. Like, if you come into my show, you come into my fucking comment section. Well, not so much the comment section, because I typically stay out of there, really. I'm getting back to more of my post and go shit, because I got so much shit going on. I don't have fucking time to be sitting here fucking, reading retarded comments from people that hate me. I'll get in there a couple times. I'll try to throw some love at the people that are throwing love my way. But I got shit to do, man. So, but when you come on my show and you come in my live show and you want to spout off at the mouth, I'm not going to fucking stop until you're contemplating life. Like, I'm not that dude, right? Like, we see these internet content people. I call them content people now. I think I'm just going to go with content people because they're not creators, because they're not creative. And in order to create, you have to be creative. And if you're not creative, you can't create. So these people are just rehashing everybody else's shit all the time. Or doing reaction videos. They post somebody else's fucking thing and then they giggle about it and call it their own creative content. So these content people out here on the internet, you know, when they get somebody throwing hate at them, they'll be like, oh, and your fucking shoes are gay and your fucking shirt looks like some sort of fucking, you know, something dumpy would wear it. And nope. I go straight for the personality characteristics and traits. I want to get your fucking feet swinging from the lamp in the kitchen by the end of my rant. Fuck you. How fucking dare you fucking come into my shit and not think you're going to get destroyed to the point where you're actually contemplating life and death.
No, and that's how it should be, you know, because, and you're right, man. I mean, for those people that, you know, consider themselves influencers, you're not. You're just a parrot. That's all you are. Just call yourself a parrot. Call you what you are. That you're an untalented hack. That you can't do anything else, and just shut the fuck up already.
Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong. Like, even, you know, I know a lot of fucking people. Like, I know a lot of people. They create stupid content, but I can still support stupid content if it's original. Like shit, and I consider stupid content like the stuff I don't like. I think it's like kind of the stuff that I feel like clogs up the internet. But if I can look at it and be like, well, it's a fucking original at least. You know, they had to put some work into it, and you know, maybe it entertains some people. I can get behind that. It's the fucking retarded shit that we see every day, all day long. Where, you know, if you see a video, like you get into Instagram and you scroll once and you see a video. And then the next 38 videos are that video done by somebody fucking else. Like, dude, I would be embarrassed to be on the internet if I was one of those fucking people that made the same videos as everybody else. Talk about the same shit.
I would be too. I mean, I couldn't do that. I mean, you know, and if you're going to take one of those videos and try to do a reaction, like I've seen some people try to switch lanes and talk about like certain things that they've never talked about. And it's like they put this video up and then they just have like one comment and it's pretty much the regurgitated comment, like reaction that everybody else has. But if you're going to do that and explain your side and why you stand where you do and why you posted it and why it's wrong or whatever, that's a different story. Then you're starting to be, okay, you're starting to be a little bit more original. You're giving your take on it and not just some stupid like, what do you think this should happen to this guy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a handful of those. What do you think about this? And then they post a video. Let me know in the comments. That's all the effort they put into it. Like it's absolutely fucking insanity. But the big one is animals. Animals. These motherfuckers coming out of their fucking lane to do animal shit, all because Troy does it. Like, we're just going to call that what it is. It's all because Troy does it. They see Troy put up a fucking video and he gets a fuck ton of views. So that next thing you know, boom, they got a fucking animal abuse video up there. When the fact is that Troy posts it for awareness because he wants the fucking people that are fucking evil to animals to actually be fucking punished. And he wants to let everybody know that this actually happens. Like, this shit, this kind of abuse actually fucking happens. And it takes balls for him to put it out on the internet like that. It takes some fucking nasty audacity to have the fucking wherewithal to put that out there for people, knowing it's going to turn people off. Like, I can't even watch a lot of the shit that he fucking puts up, but he gets a lot of views. And then next thing you know, this one or that one or the other one is all of a sudden doing fucking animal videos, but they don't add anything to it. Troy at least adds something to it. They just go, I can't believe this is happening. You're going to tolerate this. And then you get that one small sector where they always try to loop it back to something they don't like. Like, this animal abuse doesn't happen it doesn't happen in the homes of patriots. This animal abuse doesn't happen in home of conservatives or liberals or fucking white people or fucking bullshit. It happens fucking everywhere because people are fucking sick.
Right. Well, I saw one of those videos where the cat was wrapped up, and I know that there was a special reason for like X-rays and stuff like that why they had to wrap them up. And somebody else posted out there like, yeah, this is happening in China or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a fucking retard.
Yeah.
I know China's bad at place. Don't get me wrong. I've done a lot of research into China. I know what they're capable of. I know what they do. but it's like now you're just trying to spin and put it on that because now it fits the political thing that you're trying to go after. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like really.
And the other thing when it comes to China and Russia, especially, if they're that bad, how come they have billions of happy people? We gotta be honest. They do some fucking shit we disagree with. They live some ways that we disagree with in certain areas and all that stuff. But just because it come out of China, which is a lot of what these people that you're talking about all fucking say. Oh yeah. Just because it comes out of China doesn't make it the world's most evil thing. You know, China smokes America on the fucking auto manufacturing. It smokes us, absolutely smokes us. But everybody wants to talk about how American cars are great. No, they're fucking not. I've built my entire existence around fucking cars, fixing cars, building cars, old cars, new cars, foreign cars, import cars, domestic. I know everything there is to fucking know within probably a fraction of the top. And I can tell you, China's number one. Like, they've got fucking cars that can pick up their own fucking wheels so you can pick up so you can change a tire. Not America. We still put that raggedy ass fucking scissor jack under the back seat, don't we? Yeah. We still do dumb shit like that. Well, not to mention, and they're affordable over there. You can buy a fucking so like in this country, the equivalent of like a Tesla, right, is like, it's like 80 grand here. Right. In China, they're like 17. You can get a fucking BYD for 10 grand, and it's got all the fucking tech that a Tesla's got. Go figure. That's why Chinese cars aren't allowed in America. They say it's because they don't pass the crash test safety ratings. It's because they make American manufacturers fucking look terrible. How come they can sell a safe car with all of this shit in here for fucking $10,000 to $20,000, but we can't seem to sell one in America for fucking less than 110? That's very interesting. And we get most of our parts from fucking China. Yeah. Yeah. Most of the parts, most of the things in your home, electronics and all that shit. And they always try to say, oh, they're shit, they're garbage. I had a TV that, was over 10 years old, and it still works. And it was manufactured in China. But if you bought that same TV by an American-made company, and I'm not casting shade against American-made companies because I prefer American-made, but chances on it probably failing a lot quicker would be, I would think that would probably be pretty much quicker than what I have now based on cars. See, with the American-made thing, because I'm actually starting another one, 5 Hammer. Get ready, because it is launching very soon. But I've done, brands. I've done fucking, cars. I've done fucking all sorts of shit involving all sorts of parts from all sorts of places. I own a home, like most people. Right. I will say this. Everybody, and I'm not throwing no shade at you because what you just said. No, this has nothing to do with you. I'm talking about most people. Most people I prefer American made. Do you? Why? Well, it's because it's better. That's what they say. It's because it's better. No, it's fucking not. American made stuff is fucking trash most of the time. It really is, because America is only worried about the fucking dollar at the end. It's what can I get the profit margin up to? I don't care what I'm producing. I don't care how it gets made, and plus the other fucking thing is American shit's really expensive because, we got to pay, instead of paying and I understand, pay your people a living fucking wage in these other countries. I get a lot of it's made by slave labor, air quoting slave labor, what we consider slave labor. Right. But in America, Now all of a sudden you've got a dude putting together these elevator buttons that's like a $15 an hour job if you're really stretching, putting together button panels. But no, this guy's got to make $39 an hour because he's in a union. So everything's more expensive. The roads in fucking China are far better than the roads in Illinois. Illinois for sure, but in America. and they put like less than a quarter of the money into it because they're not worried about everybody making $1,000 an hour. Why is the fat woman that has zero skills and zero talent all the way across the board throughout her entire life, why is she making fucking $27 to $34 an hour to hold a stop sign? Fuck you.
Yep. No, and I work in that field, so I know.
Yeah.
I see that all the time. You see these people that are holding a fucking sign for traffic, actually, they make more than that. They make probably about $40-$50 an hour to flip a sign.
Yeah. Last I knew it was 27 to 34, and that was years ago. And I know it only goes up for the unions because they're the fucking bullies of this country. Without the fucking unions, shit would be cheaper. I'm not going to say shit would be better or would be worse. I'm going to say it would be cheaper for the American people because you know what? And you get. How many fucking times do you got an operator on site now? For those people, we're going to generalize the terms. You got an operator. Those are the people that drive the skid steers, the bobcats, the loaders, the tractors. Then you got laborers. Those are the guys that fucking they use shovels and brooms and shit. They're the laborers. Well, that operator needs one fucking chunk of rock this big fucking moved with a shovel, and he'll sit there for an hour on the clock until a laborer gets there to do it.
Facts.
Or vice versa, the laborers will sit there for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours until the operator gets back because he decided to park the fucking bobcat right in the middle of the job site, and they're not allowed to operate it.
Yep. Yeah, they can't get in the machine because it goes against the union. If the union steward comes out and sees them in the machine, now they can get booted from the union. So it's like, or they'll get in trouble. The company will get in trouble. It's a whole fucking rigmarole bullshit. It's what you just said is 100% facts. I see it every fucking day because I've come up on job sites where I see a laborer just standing there.
Yep.
And then, or I see the operator just sitting there, and it's like, what are you guys doing? Well, we got to wait for this, got to wait for this, got to wait for the labor to get back. It's like, literally a small rock that can literally be picked up and moved out of the way. They're waiting on somebody else to do it because they don't want to get out of the machine because they're only allowed to get out of the machines 3 times in an 8-hour period. Once you get out of the machine that many times, you can't go back in. So you have your 2 breaks and your lunch.
Gotta love it, right? And that's supposed to be what builds the quality in America. That to me sounds like slave labor. That sounds to me like high-paid slave labor. Your ass will be in that fucking seat for at least 7.25 hours a fucking day. You're allowed 3 times out of that machine. But if you get out of it a 4th time to take a piss, maybe you got the shits or something, you're going to have fucking problems on your hands. And that sounds like forced labor.
Yeah. And they can't switch machines either. So even if they get out of a machine, because sometimes they'll have 2 end loaders or something like that. If they get out of one machine, go to another, that counts. So once that happens, then because I've had times where it's like, hey man, we need this move. Well, I've already made my moves. I can't leave this machine now. It's like, so you're the only operator on this fucking job, and now we're not doing anything because you can't move to the other machine again. Well, yeah, I'm like, then I go up to the foreman, I'm like, get another fucking operator out here because we need this shit moved. And then that takes hours. It's fucking ridiculous. It really is.
Yeah, it's an absolute fucking shit show, and it's all run by the people in the ages in between. The ages between the people that people give a fuck about. And that's what I want to talk about today, because it's every day, every single fucking day. What do you see on the fucking internet? What do you hear on the TV, the radio? It's always people, just endless lines of fucking people fucking shouting from the rooftops. We've got to save the children. We've got to protect the children. We've got to work for our elderly. We've got to save and protect our elderly. We've got to provide for our elderly. Then, after they get done with their virtue signals there, then they want to bitch about how shitty the world is. Well, because most of the fucking world is the people in the ages between those. And you don't give a fuck about those people. Nobody gives a fuck about those people. In fact, if you're listening to this, you're probably those people. I'm those people. I'm 44. Dave's 50. We are those fucking people. We are the people that in the ages between the people that everybody seems to give a fuck about. Nobody is out here except me that I've seen saying, We need to save the fucking people in between. We need to save the people that are actually building the country right now. We always want to put so much fucking effort and attention and love and care and support into the people that built the country 40 years ago. And we want to fucking put all that fucking love and attention and support and whatever into the fucking people that are going to build the country in 40 years from now. But when it comes to the motherfuckers building the country while you're bitching about this shit, you don't give a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about the people in the ages between those fucking people. And it's mind-boggling how people can not fucking get why the world looks like shit when you forget about 2/3 of the fucking planet.
Yeah, no, and you're absolutely right. I mean, it's funny how they do that. It's like, well, we gotta, let's focus on this, this age bracket and this age bracket. These are the people we have to help. But the people that are actually making shit happen, it doesn't matter. Like, we can work 80 hours a week. We can somebody can die on the job, get hit on the job, whatever. They don't care about them. But if it was somebody older or younger, there would be a big stink about it. Oh, we need more regulations. We need more of this. We need more of that. And it's sickening. It really is, because I see it on a daily basis. And half those motherfuckers that are the younger end of that ratio, that aspect, they don't give a fuck. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing, and they think they know it all. They want to come out here thinking they know it all. I don't need your training. I don't need your help. I don't need this. I don't need that. And we've talked about this before. And those are the motherfuckers that are going to be running the country and doing this shit after we're long gone. I can just imagine how bad it's going to be at that
right. Nobody fucking, everybody, all lives matter. All lives matter. Do they? Because I don't hear it. No, outside of the times when people are actually saying that a specific life matters, whether it's female lives, because that's another one. We all got to protect the women. Nobody's got to protect the men. Nobody's got to stand up for the men. All these laws, especially regarding marriages and divorces and custodies and all that, that can all be geared 100% against men. Nobody gives a fuck. Until June, of course, and now I truly believe when it comes to June, which is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, people only give a fuck about pushing men's mental health awareness so that they can stop pushing the gay shit and the trans shit. I think that's the only fucking reason. Because before June became Pride Month, I never heard nobody talking about men's mental health shit. No, I just didn't. Every now and then.
I just recently started hearing more about Men's Mental Health Month and all that stuff. It wasn't a big thing because, and I think you're right. I think they're trying to wash out that whole the gay pride and all that stuff. Yeah, they're trying to wash that out. And because, I mean, let's be honest, they shoved it down our throats for numerous years,
40 years.
So now they have to backtrack on it. So now let's bring something else out. Because, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, men, we hold in a lot of shit, and you can watching this, listen to this, we can come off like how we're coming off, but in the shadows of everything, we can be battling shit that we don't bring to the table because we have to keep it together for our families.
We are.
Yeah, exactly.
All of us.
We are keeping it together for our families. So then this way they don't have to have that ounce of what we're dealing with. I know I do it on a regular basis because there's times, where shit's going on and it's like, well, you know what? My wife doesn't need to know about this. I don't want her to worry. I'm going to handle it. And in the background, I'm dealing with all the stress. I'm dealing with all the bullshit to rectify situations, because it's like, you don't want to put that stuff on the other people. So it's like, now all of a sudden you give a shit about men, but you really don't give a shit about men because you're just using that as a ploy to cover something else up.
Yeah. You're just washing out something else.
Yeah. It's fucking, ugh.
They just use men's mental health awareness as a delusion, like a diluting factor, a diluting agent for the fucking gay pride shit. Yeah. Yeah. And but that whole thing transitions to the entire fucking demographic of people we're talking about. The people that are in their fucking 30s, 40s, and 50s. We are the ones building the shit right now. We're the ones building it every single day, which is right now, all the fucking time. Even late 20s, I'll say. But nobody gives a fuck about them. We give a fuck about kids that are, up until they're about 16, 15. And then we give a fuck about people that are like, late 65, 68 and up. Then we start giving a fuck. But everybody between, like, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, I wouldn't have to if we stopped fucking taxing the goddamn fuck out of me so that we could save those two fucking people. That doesn't mean I don't want to save the kids. That doesn't mean I don't want to take care of our elderly. It does mean, though, especially in this day and age, in this society that we live in, where everybody's so concerned about everybody's inclusion in everything. Why is this entire age demographic from fucking, let's say, 27 to 63? Why is this fucking entire demographic forgotten about? And then if you fucking bring it up, then people are like, oh, don't be a pussy. Bitch, I just saw your Facebook post whining about flat tire and then your water heater went out. Life is so hard and nobody cares and I just don't know what I'm gonna do. But if I say we need to start paying attention to the ages between, then that motherfucker's like, grow the fuck up, pussy.
Well, you know what? I want to throw this out there. I think, out of that age bracket, I want to say the age bracket or the generation that gets left out the most is Gen X. Gen X gets left out the most.
No, I would push back on you 100% on that, just based on the switch. But I'll let you finish.
Well, I'm kind of interested in where you're going with this because, I mean, if you can change my mind on this, because I feel, I mean, as far as Gen X being kind of left out of the thing, because, as far as being a Gen Xer and growing up in that time, we didn't have that supervision. We were forced to go out there and fail, and do those things. And we had to deal with it on ourselves. But I think in a whole, I think society, they look at Gen X now and it's like, oh, well, they just want to talk shit. Just like we talk shit about the baby boomers and stuff like that. I just think it's been left out.
I would put the level I would push back on you in that is because we have to operate within the parameters we're given, and those parameters oftentimes change in society.
Right.
So back when I was growing up, I was a Gen Xer. I was born in 82. Right. Well, but by the book now,
fuck the book.
The 82 to 85 are Zennials because because we were the fucking transition at that certain age and that certain mentality and the capabilities. Capacities. We were the age that transitioned from no computer to computer, no internet to internet, no cell phone to cell phone. We were the last ones of a generation that can remember that were old enough to remember days before cell phones, before the internet, before computers, before social media, before all of this stuff where you had to like ride. We were the last ones to remember how you had to ride your bike to go find your friends in the neighborhood. And it might take you fucking hours, and you might not ever find them. And then you go home disappointed. Like, I wonder where the fuck they were all at. Secretly, they were hiding their bikes in the garage because they didn't want you there. But we were the last generation.
Or they're in the woods somewhere just doing the normal shit.
But we were the last ones to remember that. Now, in the climate we live in today, I think Gen Xers are recognized very widely. Not respected very widely, not disrespected either, but they're recognized at least, because you can't fire up Facebook and you can't fire up Instagram or X or fucking anything without seeing a slew of Gen X videos and how great Gen X is. But where the fuck, and then you skip these couple of years and then all of a sudden it's the millennials. Everybody wants to recognize the millennials. You've got the millennials don't do shit crowd, and then you've got the millennials just work for a different reason crowd. They're getting recognized. It's the Zennials. It's the last generation, like the last two generations of Gen X, or the last 2-3 years of Gen X that really take it in the ass every single fucking day. But also, everybody all encompassing, nobody gives a fuck about it.
No. And based on what you just said there about the Zennials, like I still consider that aspect Gen X. I really do, because we all grew up the same way. We remembered the cell phones, what it was like before cell phones, before video games, before all that other bullshit, and going out until the street light went on. That's when you knew you had to be home. Or when your bell was going off for fucking dinner, you had to be home by then, and you had to be within a certain range so you can hear it. Because if you didn't, you come home and get that wooden spoon. Yeah,
I got belts and boots.
So I still think that generation is still part of Gen X.
Well, absolutely, and that's why they call them Zennials. That's why they started out with an X. And at first when and here's the thing is like, I've done a little bit of research and a lot of thinking on this. And when it came out first, I was like, oh my God, it's just another fucking demographic of people, to which, mind you, I fit directly in. In fact, I'm the leader of that group, actually, based on my birth year. I'm like, oh God, just another fucking group of people that need to be recognized as special. Yeah. But then the more you dig into it, it really was a different life, you know, because we didn't have 20 years of memories before cell phones. We had like 7.
Yeah.
And then after cell phones. And then we had, you know, like 10 years before a computer of memory. Then, or several, maybe not even that long, because, you know, fucking what did computers really start hitting the market in the mid 90s, 90 to 94 ish, like where they were mainstream in like most people's houses kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember growing up, I think it was late 80s, like 88, 89, just right by then. Yeah.
First started making their appearances. In fact,
the Ataris and all that shit.
Let's see what, let's actually look this up. When, let's ask chat. How about that?
Because I remember when we first got one.
When did the home computer start making a mass introduction? That's not what I want. Roughly what years were home computers starting to really be widely used in most homes in America?
Roughly, I put the big wave in the mid 1990s when Windows 95 and super PCs made them pretty common for everyday families. Before that, the 1980s definitely had home computers. Think Apple II, Commodore 64. But those were more hobbyist or kid households, not mainstream. It wasn't until the internet and Windows bundled in that homes in the US started getting computers in the majority.
Yeah. So if I'm born in 82 and, you know, the computers and widely used in homes, become popular in 95, I don't have fucking 13 or 12 years of fucking memories. I've got like 6 or 7, you know what I mean? So you got everything like happened at the same time. So we got like 6 or 7 years before it, which is well enough to remember how life was and look back and reflect upon how much better it was. And then we have the aftermath.
Yeah, because I remember when I was in high school, 92, 93. Yes, I'm old. I know it's been a while. I mean, we're talking over 30 years ago. When I was in school, that's when I think it was my junior year, they started getting like the Commodores in there, like in the schools and stuff like that. But I remember, just like back in the day, just like when the Commodore 64 came out with the cheap ass fucking video games and stuff like that, there was this one ninja game or a karate game that we'd always want to fucking play. We'd spend hours fucking playing it because that was just like the thing to do. But even though they were, like Chat just said, they were more for like hobbyists and kids and stuff like that. Back then, we got to start to learn about the computers right away and start to learn people were learning how to program and do all different shit. We didn't have the capabilities that we did now until Windows 95 or, and all that shit. But you're right. I mean, I have up until 86, 87, 88 ish when Commodore 64 came out, and I was born in 75. So, I mean, I've got 10, 11, 12 years of not having that computer. But then, man, when that came in, it was like a domino effect. It was like, boom. It's like all of a sudden technology just fucking took off.
Yeah. Well, it's the same principle of fucking planes. 40 years after we invented the plane, we dropped a nuclear bomb from it. Air quotes. Of course, we're going to air quote that one because we're still not quite sure that shit really exists. And by all evidence, it looks more like Japan was firebombed, not nuclear explosion. But whatever, that's a different show, That's sorry, NSA, thing. We won't talk about that too deeply. Don't worry. But speaking of government, I sidetracked. Did you hear just fucking Trump just said he was going to run for a 4th term now? That's really going to fucking stuff in the Trumpers' asses about no kings, huh? Because
how's that going to happen?
All these fucking I'll tell you how it's going to happen.
Unless he does a martial law.
Yeah, all this no king shit, all this no kings, and how the Trumpers have been fucking. Oh wow, we haven't had a king, blah 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 blah. But now we got a guy telling us he's gonna he's gonna break the laws or remake the laws so that he can run again. That's some king shit to me. That's some king shit to me.
Well, I had since we just took this hard right here, I had concerns with Trump and his committee that he started up with his peace committee or whatever the fuck he
Oh
called
yeah, the International Committee of Peace or Board of Peace or some shit where he got $10 billion from it.
Yeah, and he put himself at the head where he could never be taken off.
Yeah, forever.
And now you have Bibi Netanyahu part of it. His whole family's part of it. It's like, I had concerns when that happened. I was like, where's this one going?
And we just merged the Israeli military with the American military. That all passed now. But
hold on. If you say that, you'll have people disagreeing with you because I've actually seen conservatives calling the Democrats for saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not false. You really need to read between the lines and start looking into shit because
well, and that's the whole thing. That just shows you cognitive dissonance at its finest. People will fucking convince themselves of anything they need to convince themselves to make what they currently believe into the truth. They passed it. The American military is now one with the Israeli military, the IDF, and you still got these motherfuckers coming out. No, that's not what it is. Yes, it fucking is. It is. Now Israel has access to everything we got all the fucking time, like they didn't before. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Let's be honest. They had the access already. They just had to buy it. Now they just get it for free.
Did they have to buy it though? Did they have to buy it?
Well, they bought it through fucking funding politicians.
Well, yeah, I can see that, but I mean, who's the only foreign leader that can come to the state house?
Oh yeah, and just walk right into the White House. Yeah,
walk right in without being stopped. Go down to Congress, say what he has to say, and everybody stands up and like.
Well, we got Miriam Adelson, who isn't even a politician, and she can just walk right into the fucking White House because she bought the motherfucker basically at this point.
Yeah. I'm sorry to say that's not normal. That only happens when you've been taken over, and we've discussed this before.
But again, different show. It was just a quick little tangent we went off of there. That was a current event touch point. But I mean, and meanwhile, but meanwhile, that's happening, and we're spending fucking hundreds of billions of dollars on this fucking war with Iran that doesn't need to happen. You know what? People can say whatever the fuck they want about Iran. And you know what? I have said a lot of shit about Iran. I have.
Yeah.
But the fact remains they've never done anything. Like they've got some proxies that cause some problems, but not for us. Like they haven't caused any problems over here. They haven't caused any problems in most of the fucking places other than the fucking shithole areas of the Congo and stuff that they're trying to take over from a bunch of fucking, marauding guerrillas, which they are about the same. But, they haven't fucking, they're walking around saying death to America. I've said this. I'm fully transparent. You'll never catch me up on shit because I'll own it before you find it. I've said it. They walk around saying death to America. We don't want to tolerate that shit because after a while, speech becomes fucking action and action becomes problems. But you know what? They've been saying death to America for hundreds of fucking years and they've never done anything. So who gives a shit? We all fucking say death to Iraq, death to Iran, death to the fucking everything in the Middle East, death to Islam, Christians, and fucking, we're following the only true God. And if you don't follow our God, you're a piece of shit, worthless, fucking nothing, this and that and the other. Everybody's got their own rhetoric. Everybody's got their own rhetoric. Even pagans like us, we talk all our shit about other people. Everybody's got their fucking rhetoric. So if we're going to get down to the fucking nitty gritty and we're going to have to solve the problem, air quotes, because somebody was saying something, then the whole world has to die. Like there's no other way to fucking put it. But if you're gonna have to solve, again, air quoting, the rhetoric coming out of somebody's mouth so that it doesn't become action and doesn't become a problem for you, a danger for you, then everybody's gonna have to die because we all got our rhetoric.
Yeah, no. Well, and every group has, not only the rhetoric, but every group has the extremists, and that's where it's at. I mean, it's the extreme aspect of that group, which is creating the rhetoric, which is creating the problems. But eventually that extreme aspect, will start to resonate on the people that aren't thinking that way. So you're right. You literally have to do a master reset of the whole world.
Yeah. And we can't do that. So what can we do? We could, in my opinion, and I'm fucking stupid. I'm a high school dropout and fucking ex-gang leader. I don't know what I'm talking about, but in my brain, we could just start paying attention to the people that actually break their backs for the fucking world every single day. The age demographics of the people that we can very, very legitimately say are absolutely taxed to death and forgotten about. We're used as tax mules. We're funding governments all across the globe. It's not even just in this country. It's all the way across the globe that 27 to 63 are fucking building the shit, but we're the ones that are just getting fucking chastised for speaking, for believing anything that goes against the grain or the narrative. We could start putting some effort into those age groups and see how that fucking changes things. We could maybe stop taxing them to fucking death so that we can pad the pockets of all our politicians. And I'm fucking just spitballing here. Like I said, I'm fucking retarded. I'm a stub toe away from fucking licking windows wearing a helmet. Like it's what it is.
Right in the short bus.
Yeah, I already did that in 5th grade. That was neat.
I think I have a theory. You mentioned something about how in the beginning, like it's the middle that always gets forgotten, right? It's the middle. We're always worried about the saving the 16.
I think I know where you're going with this. So yeah, take us on the journey.
And the people 63 and older, those are I would have to push. Let's push that up to 65 and older. Okay, let's take a couple years off. I think the reason why that generation in the middle gets forgotten so much is because that middle part are the ones that will ask all the questions that they don't want to answer.
Yep. It's the logical ones. It's the ones that see things for what it is. Yep. Why the fuck do I get up every single day to go build somebody else's fucking dreams rather than my own? And then I look and I'm like, oh, why have those people made it so impossible for me to build my own dreams? Like we're the ones that ask the questions.
Now there are some people that are in that age bracket that ultimately, let's just say they fall into those other groups because those are the people that they care about. I'm talking about the ones that don't question anything, that refuse to question.
Right.
So if they come out and say, hey, you need to take this right here. Let's take this medicine right here. Take that because it's going to make you feel better. Then you got somebody else like us be like, why do I need to take that? What's wrong with me that I have to take that? Start asking those hard questions and forcing to get answers. That's why I think that group is forgotten so much because we're not afraid to ask those questions.
Well, and it's in like OnlyFans. Now, I'm not a fan of OnlyFans. Like I don't.
You got your foot thing up there.
Here's the thing. What's that?
You got your foot show going on up there.
Yeah. Like I got my crush videos with my feet, but nobody wants to see my fucking feet. But OnlyFans and porn, right? That's a whole campaign on the internet all the fucking time from fucking demographic of people like we need to cancel porn, we need to do this and that and the other thing. No, we need to cancel the treatment of the people that is making them go into porn. Let me just lay this out. If you're let's say you're a 17-year-old girl, right? Mm-hmm. And you're looking at the world as it is, and you're just not seeing any fucking route to get to the life that you've been told you deserve. You deserve because in America, and I've said this 1,000 times before if I've said it once, in America, we're taught that we're due the American dream. They don't ever tell you, they don't ever teach you that you're supposed to work your fucking dick off for it. They don't ever teach you that it's supposed to be equal opportunity, not equal outcome. They don't ever teach you that it takes decades to make wealth, to create riches, to make money and fucking build something real and tangible. They don't ever teach you that. They just teach you that it's owed to you. They teach you that this is the only place it's possible, but they don't ever tell you about the road of possibility and what that actually looks like. So if you're a 17-year-old girl and you're looking at the world and now you've got a couple of years probably of work now, you've been working, maybe we can even go to 18. Fuck, you can even go to 20 years old if you want. Let's do that. You've got a couple of years of work under your belt. It's not going well. It's not going well. You're not on a trajectory to be anything. In fact, you might very well be on a trajectory of going backwards because of inflation and all these prices rising and your wages not rising with them, like we all suffer. But you're a 20-year-old girl. And you're looking at, you're assessing the world and you're like, I can't make it. I just can't there's no way to fucking make it. Like I can't get a fucking 1-bedroom apartment in a fucking ghetto for less than $2,000 a month. And right now I'm making like $3,100 a month and I have to have a car payment so I can get there and blah, 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 blah. I can't do it.
Right.
And then you find this, then you look over to the corner and you go, wait a minute. I can just fuck myself with different things on camera and be a millionaire in a year.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't like it. I don't love it. I would never condone my kids doing it, but can't you at least fucking see why they would do it? Can't you at least fucking see why they do? Especially considering we're full of generations of people that grew up hearing what? Sex sells.
Yep.
Sex sells. We're told sex sells our entire fucking life. And then once these women start selling sex, that's a fucking problem then.
Yeah.
Well, dude, you can't have your fucking cake and eat it too. You can't run both sides of the fucking road at the same time. Pick a fucking lane. Does sex sell or does sex not sell? Okay, let's run this out. Sex sells, sex doesn't sell. Yes, sex sells. Okay, so if sex sells, what do we do to sell what we got? We do sex, right? Don't get mad at it. You can't get fucking mad at it if you're the one saying that sex sells, because if you're saying sex sells, you're part of the demographic of people that is selling it. You're part of the demographic of people that is at least making it so that is a fact. You'll watch this fucking vampire series and then you'll lose interest, but then you'll watch this other vampire series where it's constant fucking all the time, like True Blood. Every fucking time I walked into the fucking room and my first wife was watching that, what I think it was called True Blood. Yeah. I don't watch TV, but I think it was called True. Somebody was fucking all the time, and it was one of the biggest shows on the internet. Nip Tuck, another one, always fucking, biggest shows on the fucking internet. Game of Thrones. Every time I fucking seen, somebody was fucking something. Oh yeah. It was sex and swords, porn and swords. It was the biggest shows on the fucking internet, right? But all these shows that don't have the fucking sex element, they don't fucking sell. Well, if you don't want your daughters doing OnlyFans, maybe you should start paying more attention to the shows that isn't all revolving around somebody fucking somebody.
Well, and for those that want to say that, well, not all the shows have sex in it. Well, you're right. Not every show has sex in it, but they do seem to make the women look a certain way for the appeal aspect of it to keep you watching.
That's another aspect, yeah.
I mean, you could look at shows like The Big Bang Theory and stuff like that. They're not going to put somebody that's frumpy on there. Yeah, sure, they had somebody on there who's kind of
Amy Fair Fowler, yeah.
But they had others.
But there was a tertiary character, though. Amy got introduced way later. Fucking Penny was the one that Kaylee Cuoco got fucking introduced right out of the gate because they knew everybody in that age demographic wanted to put their dick between her tits.
Exactly. And that's why that show took off. Friends, same thing. Boom, took off.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be sex all the time in the show for it to take off. Right. But I mean, if you take shows like, say, like Supernatural, that was a great TV show. You know, it has a huge following because of the occult aspect of it. And that's what sold that show. So they found their little niche for that. But other shows, like, they've tried. I've seen so many shows that come out that didn't come out like that, and they just failed. Like,
well, here's
after season.
Perfect example of that. Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters was one of the biggest movie franchises in history. And then they had to redo it with a bunch of fat, ugly women. And what happened? That bitch fell straight on its face right day one. Fucking straight on its face. Mm-hmm. If that fucking movie, they would have redone that motherfucker with a bunch of Eliza Dushkus and fucking lingerie, that motherfucker would have been the #1 fucking box office movie of all time. And it's all due to us. It's not due to them. Everybody wants to say it's them. It's them. I don't make sex sell. Yes, you do. You're the one watching this show because there's a lot of fucking in it. Any fucking show out there that has a lot of fucking in it has a weak plot, has weak writing, has weak everything around that show, which is why they have to fucking go to humans' primal core nature is to fuck. So they've got to put that in there to appeal to you on a subconscious level. If the writing is good, the writing is strong, The structure of the show is strong. They don't need it. Home Improvement was one of the fucking one of the biggest fucking shows of all time, and there was never any sex in it.
No. Oh man, that was a great show. I mean, and I loved Home Improvement, and actually any of Tim Allen's work, I loved.
I love Tim Allen. Yeah,
he's just a different fucking breed, man. He really is.
Speaking of that, did you know? Fun fact about Tim Allen for anybody that doesn't know. So most people know that he got arrested for running drugs.
Yep.
And he did some time in the can, and he rolled over on some motherfuckers so that he could do less time in the can.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people fucking look at him. That's despicable shit. Bah, 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 bah. Well, most people don't know that when he got out of prison and he made it big, he went back and took care of all of the motherfuckers he rolled on, made them millionaires.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, like there's videos of their children, those dudes' children out here talking about how badass Tim Allen is for doing that. Made them all fucking millionaires. So he is a fucking stand-up dude.
No, he truly is. I mean, and the fact that even any of his shows, if you watch any of Tim Allen's shows from after Home Improvement, like Last Man Standing and his new one, Shifting Gears that he's got out now, he brings in all of the people from his other shows to make cameos. He still takes care of them.
Yep.
He produces, and he's the executive producer of each one of his fucking shows, and he takes care of the people that are there.
Yep.
Who else in fucking Hollywood does that?
Yeah. But he's one of the ones that hasn't forgotten that there's an entire age demographic of people between the people that other people give a fuck about. Yeah. So, I mean, if we want this world to fucking change, if all you motherfuckers out here want fucking porn to be off the internet, you're not going to lobby that. You're not going to fucking put a law through to get rid of porn. What you need to do if you want to solve the problem, you don't want to solve the problem. You want to hide the symptoms. That's what this is. Banning porn is hiding the symptoms. What you want to do if you really want to fix the problem is you have to fix the problem. You have to go all the way down to the root, and you have to make people not want to do porn. There's always going to be a slight demographic, like, there's certain people out there that are fucking like hypersexual. Great, fantastic. There's people out there like to do some twisted shit in the bedroom. Great, fine. I'm all for it. I'm one of those fucking people on a lot of different levels. But I'll tell you this, I'm not putting it on fucking camera, and I'm not watching shows that are that are revolving around putting that on camera. I'm not fucking acting in my daily life like, with my children as though this is the route you need to take if you're going to get if you want to get big. I'm not doing any of that. I guess I understand I'm an anomaly. I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies. That whole fucking thing rots your brain faster than the comment section. Like, it's TV rots your brain faster than the comment section. Like, it's just a fact.
Yeah.
But we need to fix the problem. So that's how I fix the problem. I don't portray myself in a way where it would make other people think that in order to get to me or get my attention, they have to do this. They don't, or they have to get, in order to get my money, they have to conduct themselves in a certain fucking way. But mass society does. But the problem with that is it's like society's just like prison. If you ask all the motherfuckers in prison, how many of them are innocent? 90% of them are going to fucking tell you they don't deserve to be there. Well, that's society. Why is it that sex sells? If you ask this to 90% of if you ask this to society, 90% of them are going to be like, well, I don't know. It's not me. Of course it's not you, because it's never you when it's a bad thing, but it's always you when it's a good thing, right? We've got to fucking look inside. We have to get introspective with ourselves as the fucking population of the globe right now and figure out how we can stop this shit. And the number one fucking way is to stop making the people building the fucking planet and keeping it fucking running feel like they're forgotten.
Right. No, that's exactly right. And I think one of the biggest problems, especially in America, is that we all grew up with this assumption, if you bust your ass, you do certain things, you're going to live a good life, you're going to you're going to prosper, you're going to do all this shit. But in reality, that was just a lie, because they keep on moving the goalposts further and further back. And you'll see that every day. And that's why these people get into situations like they do, like where they look for the easier way to make money, because that goalpost they got up to it, and all of a sudden they got kicked right fuck back.
Right.
And it just went further back. So now it's like, what are people supposed to do? It's human nature to survive.
Yeah. you know, or it's like Andy Frisella. I fucking respect that dude. He is the fucking reason I can be where I'm at right now, because with all of his content and all of his fucking care that he puts out into the world and telling people the information they need, you know, motivation, inspiration, information, all that stuff. That has allowed me to be so I have a huge respect for the dude, but it doesn't mean I've got to agree with everything he says. And one thing he said that I disagreed with absolutely to my core is in one of his podcasts, and this was several years ago. He said, you want a fucking raise? Then ask for it. It's not the fucking company's duty to recognize you as needing a fucking raise or deserving a fucking raise. That is the problem right there. It's always somebody else's fucking responsibility to notice something else. It is the company's responsibility to notice their hard workers, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Now, can I fucking really go toe to toe on this dude on a business aspect? Of course not. He's been through way more things in business than I will probably ever go through. However, I haven't gone through nothing in business. I do have a leg to fucking stand on. I've got at least 10 years of the most horrific business experience, from fucking everything from having to exclude fucking partners legally from contracts, to fucking, you know, finding out a year later that the government's up my ass because the person that was supposed to be running the numbers wasn't doing anything. Right. I've been in a lot of fucking situations, and I've also been an employee of a company since I was 10 years old. So I understand what it's like to be an employee too, right? So it is the fucking company's goddamn job. It is. And by saying it's not, you make your company look like shit. You make your company look like it's run by a bunch of arrogant pricks that don't know what's going on underneath them, or don't pay attention to what's going on underneath them on the fucking personal level of conduct that your employees are putting out there. You make it sound like the only way anybody can get ahead in your company is to absolutely 100% demand raises and then provide the receipts. Like, dude, if I'm providing receipts for years and years and years and you don't fucking notice them, that's why you get the people that stop producing the receipts. I shouldn't have to come to you and say, hey, could you please recognize how much I really do for your company? Can you please recognize that I make $12 an hour and I made you $1.9 million last year? Can you please recognize? No, that's not the way it should work. Sometimes on bigger corporations, I understand that's how it's going to work because the fucking corporation's so big, blah, 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 blah. There is a leg to stand on there, but for the most part, that's not the way it should fucking work. It should be on the company hold the onus to fucking make the fucking people that work for it feel seen. Yeah. You get better work out of people if you make them feel seen, make them feel, respected and needed, necessary to the fucking company.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I love the company I work for, because they do all that. We do every 3 months we have a meeting with the higher ups and all that stuff, and we go over progress and everything. And we get the year raise every year. And you don't get a lot of companies like that anymore that actually take the time to actually put into the employee. Whereas the company I work for, they're all about like putting into the employee and all that stuff. Yeah, they put extra work onto you, but that's part of the game. Right. It just is what it is. But there are a lot of companies out there, though, that don't do that. And for those companies, yeah, those people are going to have to speak up when they think they deserve a raise. But 9 times out of 10, if you think you deserve a raise, chances are pretty good you don't deserve that raise. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah, most of the time, people think everybody thinks they're worth $1 million fucking dollars. Like, dude, I'm sorry, you're fucking scooping ice cream or making coffee at fucking Starbucks. Right. You don't deserve a fucking raise. You deserve you deserve what you're getting. You're making a fucking career out of a $12 an hour fucking job and pissing and moaning because it's not paying your bills. Right. You're a lazy fuck and you need to get some skills. Sorry, that's the fucking hyper reality of it.
Yeah. If you have a skilled position, you'll notice that it's completely different. That's when you're going to start getting the raises. Every once in a while, you'll get that company that's not like that. Then you have to be boisterous about it. But unfortunately, you got to go about that when you're being boisterous about it in a way that it doesn't make you come off like a certain way, like a complete, like somebody that really doesn't know what the fuck they're doing and just kind of demanding something. You can't just demand it. You have to be like, hey, go. There's certain ways you got to do things. But for the people that are just sitting there, $12, $15 hour jobs, working at big like Burger King's, McDonald's, and shit like that. No, you don't deserve a raise.
Well, and you know, a large part of the problem is the people that build the corporations, people that build the companies. There's two people that build companies, right? There is the person A, where they want to build this fucking company to get themselves wealthy. They want an $85 million, $100 million car collection, and they don't care if they've got a warehouse full of fucking $12 an hour employees that can't make ends meet. That's how they're getting what they want. That's them, which is fucking evil.
Yes.
Then you've got the other people, the opposite end of that spectrum. You've got the people building businesses only for the sole purpose of getting themselves where they comfortable enough where they want to be in life, where they don't have to answer to anybody. They can kind of come and go as they please. They stop and pick up a check, blah, 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 blah. They only give a fuck about them on that level. And then they stop building the company. They stop building the corporation into down an avenue where it would provide growth for all of its employees. So then, because the employees that work there, and I've worked in shops my whole life, and I've only ever worked at fucking 2 shops that ever did big enough business, you know, concentrated enough to actually provide some growth. The rest of them were owners just wanting to be comfortable in their own life, and they don't give a fuck about the people that work underneath them being comfortable in theirs. They don't give a fuck about providing growth opportunities for those people. So when you get a company that's full of people that don't have any growth opportunities, like my shop right now, that's a mom and pop shop, and that is exactly what I'm talking about. They got to the point where they're comfortable enough to live themselves, and then this is the way it is. We're not building the corporation. We're not making any fucking more big changes. We're just going to be here because that's where I'm comfortable as the owner.
Right.
You don't think that just devastates morality when you go to work every day and you know that this is the only fucking thing you're going to do until you're fucking working halfway through the day of your funeral, halfway through lunch on the day of your funeral? Like it just demolishes the morale. Like it just demolishes it. So you're not going to get the best work.
No, you're not going to get the best work, and you can't expect the best work because, I mean, if your brain's already set, like, hey, I'm making enough money for me and my family, fuck everybody else. I mean, you're going to get what you're projecting is what you're going to get in an employee, where they're not going to give a shit. They're going to do the bare bones minimum to make something look all right. All right, it's good, go, and not give a fuck. You know, that's a problem. That's a huge problem in society. You know, because unfortunately, that happens a lot. There's a lot of companies that are like that.
Most of them.
Yeah, even the big corporations are like that. They all they care about is their bottom end, their bonuses, the money in their pocket, so they can buy lavish things, go on lavish vacations, and all that stuff. They don't give a fuck about you.
All right. Well, and let's be fair. Let's break down the in between of that, because we're talking about the ages between. Let's talk about the person that starts the company for honest, wholesome reasons. I want to start a business because I want to not answer to anybody else, which, just to caveat this, when you own a business, you answer to more people than you'll ever answer to not owning the business. When you own the business, you answer to everybody that works for the business. When you are an employee of the business, you answer to the one guy at the top. It's people got this all fucked up. But let's just say a lot of these people out here, they with the honest fucking level of morale. I want to build a company because I want to afford myself the ability to kind of come and go as I please, have a little bit more financially comfortable life, and I want to provide opportunity to members of my community to work for me and have growth opportunities in there. Right. They start the business and they fucking spend 10 years doing fucking absolutely fucking fuck all for themselves, because that first 10 years is when you're just pulling your hair out. That's all you. That's why I got no fucking hair left. I had fucking luscious locks before I started business in fucking 2017, or 2016. But you start that, and then you just pull all your fucking hair out. You cry yourself to sleep. You crumble on the floor. You get a couple of wins here and there, but mostly it's just getting kicked in the dick all day long, every single fucking day. But you keep going. Then you get to the point where you start getting a taste of the money. You start getting a taste of the freedom. You start getting a taste of the power and the control. And then that's when people's mind shifts. Now they're not worried about, I also want to provide employment opportunities or growth opportunities for members of my community. Now they're talking about how, no, it's taken me fucking 10 years of getting kicked in the fucking dick. I'm going to reap as many fucking rewards and benefits from this as I can. So that's when the fucking mentality shifts into the large corporate model. We're air quoting the large corporate model. you know? So there is a fairness, not, you know, everybody that starts a company doesn't start it for nefarious reasons. Same thing with cops. As much as I fucking don't like cops, and I don't like fucking cops. They are a necessary evil, and that is the best that I can give them. Without cops in society, a lot of society would go fucking haywire. But because we have them and we have the threat of punishment, most people will stay on the straight and narrow. A lot of the people that are fucking straight on the straight and narrow right now, because we have police, if you got rid of the police, they would fucking dive off the ledge. They're the same people that if you legalized heroin and you told them it's bad for you, it'll kill you, you could overdose and all this other shit, they would say, but it's legal, so it can't be that bad. And I'm going to do it now. Those are those people.
Well, you hear that all the time, especially with weed being legalized everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, well, it's legal, so I can do it.
Yeah. Well, it's the best of the people that thought it was so horrible before that. You know, Wednesday, it was fucking absolutely the most wretched, poisonous thing you could ever put in your body. They legalized it Friday, and then by Saturday, the fucking people that were fucking saying the other shit are now high as fuck loving life because they're like, oh, it's fine now. They fixed it. It's not evil. It's not wicked. It's not demonic. It's not poison anymore. It's legal now. It's good. It's okay for you.
Those are the first people at the dispensary lines.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it's sickening.
I've been waiting for this. I've been preaching about how bad it was for so long, even though in my heart I wanted to try it. Sounds like the Christians, don't it? I've been preaching all this shit. If they made fucking pedophilia illegal, half the fucking Christians would be fucking banging kids by tomorrow.
I mean, you got a good chunk of them already doing that, but that's for another show.
Well, those are in the church. I'm talking about normal people.
Oh, well, speaking of the church real quick, did you hear about in our backyard that Father Flanagan or whatever the fuck he is down in Chicago? The one that's very boisterous. You know, he's very he loves to go on he loves to go on those protests, right? They just he just got accused of doing that to children.
Oh yeah, shocking. But you hear in our fucking communities alone, between you and me, there's 2 to 3 fucking giant religious communities that are built by the fucking church. And come to find out that those are actually the fucking places that they send all of the fucking priests to after and the sisters of the faith and all this. If you get accused of sexual battery and assault for fucking on children, they send you to these places so that you can fucking continue practicing your faith and not get in trouble.
Yeah. I think there's one like literally right in the middle of us.
Yeah, there's one right in the middle of us. There's one off to the west. There's one off to the east. They're everywhere. They're fucking everywhere.
It's fucking disgusting.
So, yeah, I just want
to say this: pagans, we don't have that.
I was just gonna say I don't remember any fucking pagan enclaves for fucking child molesters being protected by the fucking people that allowed them to do it or facilitated the opportunity for them to do it in the beginning. But again, different show, but it's just reality of shit, you know?
Yeah, pagans are so evil, but yet here we are. But you're right, a different show. We'll have to touch on that some other time.
So I mean, like we can start wrapping this shit up, but that's the fucking thing of society. Everybody wants to piss and moan about how fucking bad society is, and they don't realize they're the fucking problem. You guys, even if you're fucking listening to this, you might be you don't realize you're the fucking problem. Every time you hit the internet talking about protecting the children and supporting the elderly, all the fucking people between you are getting fucking pretty spiteful, pretty resentful, because chances are you're on some sort of fucking system process in life, whether it's government handouts or, I don't know, driving a car on roads and using electricity and all this other shit to make your living. You're just forgetting about all the people that make that fucking thing possible. You just let us fucking go until you have a problem, and then we're supposed to give a fuck. So everybody's got to start giving a fuck about other people first.
Oh, exactly. You have to. I mean, if you don't, you're just being hypocritical at that point.
Which is, the world is full of them.
Yes, it is, unfortunately, and we'll never get rid of it. It's a necessary evil.
Nope. So, yeah, if you want this world to change, you want porn to go away, you want women to have higher standards, you want men to have higher standards, you want children to be better children, you want fucking elderly to be less disrespectful or less ornery. You got to start paying attention to the people in the middle, because that's where people go bitter. Between 27 and 63 or 25 and 65, that's where people go fucking bitter as shit. So start putting some fucking effort into that age demographic and see how this world changes.
I promise you, it'll probably change dramatically if you actually put the effort into it.
And quickly. Quickly. So if you want to help us get these words out, get these truths out, you can follow us you can follow me at SavagelyLOUD on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. On that page, you're going to find 2 links. One of those links is to the Savagely Loud podcast page. Please follow us over there. The other link, you're going to find a simple link tree where you want to see my face or hear my rants. You can find it there easy peasy. Outside of that, Facebook, X, and Rumble at SavagelyLOUD. YouTube at Savagely Loud Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends and have them subscribe. And you can email us in at SavagelyLOUDpodcast@gmail.com with any of your questions, show related or non or otherwise, whatever. And please rate and review the show on Apple, iTunes, and Spotify. Dave, let them know where they can find you.
All right, guys. If you want to come and support me, you can find me on social media at Facebook and on Instagram at The Hammer Drops. Over there on TikTok, I'm at The Heathen Drops over there. If you want to get in contact with me just directly outside of the email, you can email me directly for questions at david@thehammerdrops.com.
Yeah, that's it, guys. And just to make the announcement again, every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Central, don't forget Savagely Loud Live, streaming on YouTube and Facebook. It'll be on his Facebook, my Facebook, and the YouTube. We're going to be putting some other fucking things up here soon. Some other streaming sites. Probably I'm going to be putting stuff on Rumble. Because I want to try to build my Rumble audience. Rumble sucks. Like, Rumble doesn't do anything for creators, but that's also kind of now why I'm like, if you're not going to do anything to help me at all, I want to see if I can build an audience there because it's difficult, because it's literally probably the most difficult place to build an audience on.
Yeah,
so
no, you're absolutely right there. Rumble sucks for that.
Yeah. So, and then watch, one day they'll come to me and they want to fucking give me a sponsorship, and then they'll find all my Rumble sucks videos. Fucking,
Oops.
we're going to offer you a Rumble exclusive deal. You can fucking air your show on Rumble exclusively, and we'll give you $170,000 a year, but you just can't say Rumble sucks anymore.
Well, that's going to be kind of hard to do.
That is going to be kind of hard to do,
but who knows? Weird shit happen.
Weirder shit has happened. All right, we're out of here, guys. Don't forget to not be a complete fuck pile of a human being. Do something nice for somebody. Do something nice for yourself, like, I don't know, getting your ass in gear and making something of yourself. Roll that motherfucker.